Hey everybody, this is Terminator Juice, and in today's video I'm going to be installing the high capacity battery for the Wii U Gamepad. I ordered it on December 21st, 2013, and today I received it on January 31st, 2014. Took over a month. It was on back order, straight from Nintendo, their online store. It was $39.50 shipped to Michigan. We have 6% sales tax. The base price is $32, so if you don't have sales tax or if you're higher or lower, your price will vary depending on where you live. Shipping was $5 and it came UPS. So, alright, first I'm going to open up this package, look at what's in there, and then I'm going to take the old battery out, compare it to the new battery, install the new battery, and then once that's done I will charge it. And I will cut to after that, and then I'll try to get a good estimate of how long the battery lasts, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, so first I'm going to cut the bag open. It comes with instructions and the battery, and it's definitely fairly large and it's got a good amount of weight to it. And for this install you're going to need a micro Phillips screwdriver. This is a size 00. It's about the only thing that's going to work. So go ahead and flip the gamepad over. You got two screws, one here and one there. I'm going to remove those. It was pretty snug, but not too bad. And I've never opened this before. And as you can see, the battery's half the size, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the battery. And the old battery's taller and about half the width, so interesting to feel the weight difference. It's not as big as you'd think, but there's definitely a little bit extra in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in place. So just had to spin the wires a little bit. It's kind of sitting in there kind of loose, but it feels like that's all the way in, so I'm going to put the cover back on. And that's it. Alright guys, with the battery installed, I'm going to throw the gamepad on the charger, give it a full charge, run it, and see what kind of playtime I get on it. Hello! And once I do that, I'll shoot the next segment showing you how much time I got on the first charge. So we'll see you then. Alright, what's up guys? Finally got the red light on the gamepad, so I'm gonna check my playtime. I put the battery in on the first, so I can just look at the log time for February. 5 hours 37 minutes of playtime, but as you can see, that only counts apps. I spent about 25 minutes or so moving data around, deleting stuff, and at the main menu probably another 10 minutes, so about 6 hours on the first charge. That's with the screen brightness at 4, and I was playing Link to the Past with the volume up on the gamepad for the hour and a half. So obviously if the speakers weren't going and if I put the brightness down, Could have easily got more time, but before with the old battery I'd be lucky at 2.5 hours before the red light came on. So I'm gonna throw it on the charger, get another charge on it, and see how it does next time. So stay tuned. Alright, so after my second charge, it took 4 hours exactly. I played with the screen brightness on 3, tried to keep the volume of the gamepad down, but didn't get much more playing time. You can see now at 11 hours 20 minutes, subtract the 5 hours 37 minutes, and it's just under 6 hours again. You think the screen brightness would have done more to give more life, but I did let the Wii U sit for a couple days without playing. I don't know if that affected it. So yeah, not getting the hours I was hoping for. I was hoping for closer to 7 or 8, and I'm not willing to try the brightness any lower. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera on a tripod and do a final thoughts / review, and give you guys my take on the high capacity battery and if it's worth purchasing or not. So we'll see you then. Alright guys, time for my final thoughts / review of the Wii U Gamepad's high capacity battery. I put about 14 hours on the battery, and I would say about 4 or 5 of that was actually playing with the gamepad. I wanted to get a feel for the weight so I could tell you guys if that's a factor, and it turns out it is a bit of a con. I mean, it's not that much weight. Like in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that the 2 batteries didn't feel that different in my hand, but now that I've got it in the gamepad and logged some time with it, you do feel a little bit of fatigue. I mean, it's not as bad if you're holding your gamepad straight up, but it's sitting down in my lap, it just feels heavy. And I understand why Nintendo went with the smaller battery, because, you know, it definitely makes it lighter. They obviously felt that that was more important than the longer battery life. So, bit of a con. The cost, $40. It's a little steep, especially for me, because where I play, I can reach a power outlet and I can have my gamepad plugged in if need be. But I do use the Pro controller a lot. So for me personally, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't buy the high capacity battery. But if you're located, you know, where you have your Wii U hooked up, where you don't have a power cord nearby and you need that wireless, and you know, you really like to use the gamepad, then yeah, the high capacity battery is definitely an option. I average about 6 hours, which wasn't as good as I was hoping, but before, with the regular battery, I would get about 2.5 hours, and I'd have to have the gamepad plugged in. So basically I was playing with a wired controller most of the time if I was using the gamepad. Like when I played Zombie U, I have about 24 hours of playtime logged into that game, and I would say more than half that time the gamepad was plugged in. So yeah, another thing, I live alone, so I'm not constantly sharing or handing the controller over to somebody else. But the times I've had people over, it did suck when we had to switch seats so the person could be using the gamepad could be plugged in. So if you use it a lot with a group of people, and you know, like if you're playing Nintendo Land where you switch the controller around, it definitely adds to that, because you get 6 hours of playtime. That's more than the average a session that a group will be playing together. So that'll get you past you know, the 2.5 hours I was getting. So it's just in that regard, it's a pro for someone in that situation. If you have your Wii U situated close enough to your bed where you can play at night, that's definitely going to get you, you know, more than double the play time without having to be on the charger. So, you know, for someone like that, I would recommend it. But for anyone like me, if you can have your gamepad plugged in and still play comfortably on your couch, I would say skip the high capacity battery unless you found it for cheaper. But the extra weight, and only gaining about 3.5 hours of game time on a charge, and the 4-hour charge it takes to charge it fully. I have trouble recommending it overall, but unless your situations are the ones like I mentioned, I would overall give it a 6 out of 10 for me personally. Didn't feel the advantages outweighed the negatives, so live and learn. That's why I made this video, to help you guys decide. And another thing, took a month to get the battery, so I don't know if this is going to be a common issue with Nintendo, but if you feel like you really want that extra time wireless so you can go around with your gamepad and have a little more flexibility, then by all means it's a good choice. Not a great choice and not an easy recommendation, but yeah, that's how I feel about it, and that's all I can say. I'm not going to put the old battery back in, but I feel like if I could go back, like I said before, I wouldn't go with the battery. So alright guys, that's it for this video. Appreciate you watching. I hope this helps you, and we'll see you on the next one.